everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 3 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 3 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter properties. And the lessons we're going to cover today are distributive property, find the missing factor, multiply using the distributive property, solve using properties of multiplication, relate multiplication and division, and relate addition and multiplication, right? Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So we have already started the chapter properties, right? And we already learned what is the distributive property, right? Okay, let's just discuss what is distributive property, right? So distributive property involves two of the mathematical operations. They are addition, multiplication, or subtraction and multiplication, right? Distributive property, it is like A times B plus C, right? Inside the bracket, you have either addition or subtraction, and it is distributed over multiplication. So how we evaluate, basically we have to do either you add B plus C or multiply it with A, or either you do A times B and plus A times C. They both are exactly same. That is basically the distributive property. A times B plus C equals AB plus AC. Got it? That is the distributive property. For example, you have the numbers 4 times 2 plus 3, right? So 3 plus 2 is 5, and 5 times 4 makes 20, right? Or either you do 4 times 2 and plus 4 times 3. So when you evaluate, 4 times 2 is 8 and 4 times 3 is 12. When you add, that would be 20. See, that is basically the distributive property. A times B plus C equals AB plus AC. Got it? We're going to start with the lesson. Distributive property, find the missing factor, right? Okay, so you have to find a missing factor, right? Keep this distributive property in your mind. Distributive property is A times the numbers on the both side must be same. You can see here the numbers involved are 4, 2, 3. Here the numbers are 4, 2 and 3. So distributive property looks like this. A times B plus C equals AB times AC. A is the number that is multiplying with B and C, right? So here on the other side you can see A appears twice. Got it? Now let's just start with the example. Let's see how do we find the missing number, right? Okay, use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. So you have to find the missing. How do we find the missing number? Okay, just here you have 4 times 2 and plus 4 times 3, right? 4 times 2 times 4 times 2 plus 4 times 3. That means 4 is the common number. And inside the bracket you have the sum of the other two numbers, 2 plus 3, right? You can see here you have 5. So that means 5 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So which number is missing on this side then? Here you have missing number is then 4. Got it? Because you are given 5 and 5 is the sum of 3 plus 2. So obviously 4 is missing. So that's how finding missing number is very easy. The basic thing is you just have to understand the given statement. Got it? Use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. Just look at the examples carefully. Okay, I'm going to explain again, don't worry. Okay, so which number is missing? This is the distributive property. The distributive property is A times, you have to relate A times B plus C and it equals AB plus AC. That is the distributive property, right? Now just relate, look at this side. 3 times 5 plus 3 times 1. Basically, this is this side. 3 times 5 plus 3 times 1. You can see A is here, A is here, right? And here you have A. That means A is the number that is multiplying outside, right? And the other two numbers would be inside the bracket. Got it? So 5 plus 1 is 6. You already have 6 here. That means the missing number is 3. Very good. The correct option is 3. Got it? Okay, use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. Okay, which number is missing? 5 times 5 plus 5 times 1 equals the missing number times 6. So which number is missing? Yes, very good. The missing number is 5 because you can see here 6 is the given, 5 and 5. 5 is the common number that is multiplying, and then you are left with 5 plus 1. So here you have 6. This one is 5. Got it? Correct option is 5. You can write the answer once. Use the distributive property of multiplication and find the missing number. So which number is missing in this one? Very good. The missing number is 6. Got it? Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Please write a yes if you can hear me. Yes, the missing number is 6. The correct option is 6. Okay, use the distributive property of multiplication to find the missing number. 3 times 2 plus 3 times 3. So that equals 3 times the missing number. So which number is missing? No, you already have 3 here. The missing number is, you can see here 3 is multiplying with both the numbers, right? Here you have 3 and here you have 3 is the common number. And then inside the bracket you have 2 plus 3. So that means the missing number is 5. The missing number is 5. Got it? Use the distributive property of multiplication and find the missing number. So which number is missing? 3 is missing. 3 or 6? How 3? How 3? I think that is for the last question. For this one, you need to multiply 5 is the common number, and for the inside bracket, you are left with then 1 plus 5. So, yes, obviously, that is 6. So, it would be 5 times 6. The missing number is 6. Got it? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is also related to distributive property. So, the next one is multiply using distributive property, right? So how do we multiply? We already know what is the distributive property, right? Now you're going to multiply using distributive property, right? So in the questions you are given the hint what you have to do, right? Use a distributive property of multiplication to find 6 times 11, right? And you're given hint you can write 11 as 10 plus 1. So just use the hint you have to do 6 times 11. So distribute 11, use 11 as 10 plus 1, right? So just solve using distributive property. Just write 11 equals 10 plus 1 and evaluate like the distributive property. You have to do 6 times 10 and plus 6 times 1. So 10 times 6 is 60 and 6 times 1 is 6. So when you add, the answer is 66. And obviously we know that 11 times 6 is 66. Got it? So the correct option is 66. So that's how you multiply using distributive property. The correct option is 66. Okay, the next one is use the distributive property of multiplication to find the 6 times 13, right? You have to evaluate 6 times 13 and you have to write 13 as 3 plus 10, right? So 6 times 13. Just write down 6 as 3 plus 10, right? So you need to do 6 times 3 and plus 6 times 10. Got it? So 6 times 3 is 18 and 6 times 10 is 60. So just add 60 plus 18 equals 78. So that means 13 times 6 equals 78. Got it? 13 times 6 equals 78. So the correct option is 78. Okay, the next one is use the distributive property of multiplication to find 8 times 2. So which is the correct option? 8 times 2. 12 is. Use your notebook, multiply and write the answer in the chat box. 8 times 12 equal. So 12 times 8 equal. That equals 96. Very good. 12 times 8 equal. Judy, thank you for your compliment. You can write this compliment also on our Facebook page or you can send as a message to the administrator. That would be a great favor for me if you want to do. Okay, the next one is use the distributive property of multiplication to find 6 times 12. So 6 times 12 equals. The correct option is 6 times 12 equals, very good, that is 72. 6 times 12 equals 72. You can just call the office and say this compliment for me. Use the distributive property of multiplication to find 7 times 12. So which is the correct option? 12 times 7 is 12 times 7 equals 84. Very good. Okay, the next one is use the distributive property of multiplication to find 9 times 11. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 9 times 11 equals 98. 9 times 11 equals 99. How 98? Please explain. 9 times 11 equal 99. It is not 98. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. It's okay. Let's just move on to next lesson. Okay, the next lesson is relate multiplication and division. So basically we're going to learn, I think I forgot. Yeah, yes, solve using properties of multiplication. So now we're going to learn the properties of multiplication. Then we're going to see how do we apply these properties, right? Okay, so basically the you have the properties of multiplication are used. Okay, let me just explain the properties of multiplication, right? Just look at the board and even you can note down the definitions of the multiplication. The first one, the first property of multiplication is commutative property, right? What is the commutative property? Okay, commutative property means you have A times B equals B times A, right? Basically, it means you have two numbers, you are going to multiply them. The order does not matter in the case of multiplication. Either you do 4 times 2 or either you do 5 times 4. They both have exactly same answer, right? So in case of multiplication, order does not matter. 4 times 5 is 20 and 5 times 4 is also 20. That is the commutative property, right? Commutative property hold for only two numbers. Then the next one is associative property. Associative property holds for three number. You have three numbers on both sides. You just have to group them, right? You have to do A times B plus D. You make a group. You have to evaluate B times C first. And on the other side, you make a group of A times B and then C. The numbers on the both sides are exactly same, right? For example, you have 4 times 2 plus 3. 4 times 2 times 3, right? Here you have 4 times 2 and 3. The numbers are same, just how do the order of evaluation is different. You do 2 times 3. Here you have to solve the brackets first, right? You have to do 2 times 3, that is 6. So you have to do 6 times 4. Here you have 4 times 2 in the bracket. You have to evaluate bracket first. 4 times 2 is 8 and 8 times 3. So 6 times 4 is 24 and 8 times 3 is 24. So see, both sides are exactly equal. So in case of multiplication, order does not matter, right? So in associative property, you always involve three of the numbers. Just if the method of evaluation is different, the numbers on the both sides are exactly same. That is associative property. The next one is identity. Identity means whenever you multiply a number with 1, you have exactly the same number. The number does not change. 1 times a equals a. Any number you multiply with a1, the answer is exactly the same number, right? And the last one is zero property. Zero property means if you multiply any number with zero, no matter what the number is, the answer is always a zero, right? 1 times 0 is 0, 10 times 0 is 0, 100 times 0 is 0. So no matter what the number is, if you are multiplying the number with a zero, the answer is always a zero. Got it? These are the four properties. Keep them in your mind. A commutative property, you have on the both sides, you have the numbers are same. Then you have associative property, you have to multiply three numbers, just order of multiplication is different. Then you have identity. Identity means you are multiplying any number with one and the answer is exactly the same number. Then you have zero property, right? Now we're going to just apply these properties. Okay, type the missing number. Which number is missing? Use the identity property of multiplication. 1 times what number makes 7? We're given two of the options, 7 and 8. Which is the correct option? 1 times what number is 7? 1 times, can you guys please stop talking? 1 times 7 is 7 and focus on the lesson we are working on. Please stop talking. Okay, the next one is type the missing number. Use the commutative property of multiplication. So 9 times 5 equal 5 times the missing number. So which number is missing? Yes, 5 times 9 equal 9 times 5, right? On the both sides, the number must be same. So the number is 5 times 9. That is the commutative property. The numbers on the both sides must be same. So missing number is 9. Okay, the next one is type the missing number. Use the zero property of multiplication. So which number is missing? The correct option is, yes, because you have to apply the zero property. So that would be 0, right? The missing number is 0. Okay, the next one is associative property of multiplication. So which number is missing? 10 times 3 times the missing number, and on the other side you have 10 times 3 times 9. So which number is missing? Yes, the missing number is 9, right? Both sides have exactly the same number. 9 is missing. See, 10 is here, 10 is here, 3 is here, 3 is here. So that means here you have 9, but here you don't have 9 on the other side. So the missing number must be 9. Both sides the number must be same, right? So 9 is missing. Got it? You can think and answer. Please do not write answer right away. Okay, the next one is 8 plus, use the distributive property of multiplication. So we just learned distributive property. 8 plus 1 times 4. So which number is missing? 8 times 4 plus 1 times 4. Yes, very good. 1 is missing. 1 times 4. Because you have to multiply 4 with 8 and 4 with 1. So 1 is missing. The correct option is 1. Okay, type the missing number. Use the commutative property. 1 times 8 equal missing number times 1. So which number is missing? The next one is 1 times 8 equal 8 times 1, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So let me just move on to next lesson. Okay, the next lesson is um, relate multiplication and division. So we're going to learn how do we the relationship between multiplication and division, right? Multiplication and division are interrelated, right? How? Just look at the first example. Here, if 30 divided by 3 equals 10, right? Then opposite is 3 times what number makes 30? Which is the correct option? Division and multiplication are opposite to each other, right? This way they are interrelated. If you are dividing 30 by 3, the answer is 10. That means if you multiply 3 times 30, the answer is 10. Got it? So that's how multiplication and division are. They are basically opposite operations to each other, right? If 30 divided by 3 equals 10, then 3 times what number makes 30? That's exactly the same we just did. 3 times what number is 30? Very good. 3 times 10 is 30. Okay, the next one is if 10 times 5 is 50, then the missing number divided by 10 equals 5. So which number is missing? Which number is missing? Very good. That would be 50 divided by 10 equals 5, right? Okay, the next one is if 80 divided by 8 equals 10, then 10 times 8 equals. Then 10 times 8 equals 80, so the correct option is 80. Okay, the next one is if 10 times 2 equals 20, then missing number divided by 2 equals 10. So which is the missing number? The missing number is, very good, 20 divided by 2 equals 10. The correct option is 20. Okay, if 100 divided by 20 equals 5, then 5 times 20 equals, very good, 5 times 20 equal 100. The correct option is 100. Okay, if 40 divided by 4 equals 10, then missing number times 10 equal 40. So which number is missing? Yes, the correct option is 4 times 10 equals 40, right? You can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is we are going to see how do addition and multiplication are related, right? So multiplication and addition is related. How? Basically, multiplication is the repeated additions, right? Which expression equals 4 times 4, right? You have to do 4 times 4. Either you can add 4 4 times, or either you do 4 times 4. They both are exactly equal, right? You can see here, you can add 4 4 times 4 4 4 4. The answer is 16. So multiplication is the repeated additions, right? For example, you have 2 times 3, right? So either you add 2 3 times, or either you add 3 2 times. They both are exactly same. Got it? So that's how multiplication is same as repeated additions. You have to add same number how many times? Either you add 3 2 times, or either you add 2 3 times. Got it? Let's just start with the test questions. Okay. Which expression equals 4 times 3? Option 1 or option 2? Which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 1. You can add 3 4 times. So option number 1 is the correct option, right? Yes, option 1. Okay, the next one is 3 times 3. So which is the correct option? So the next one is the correct option is option number one. You can add three times. Got it? Okay, the next one is which expression equals 3 times 4? So which is the correct option? Which option is the correct one? Option number 2 is the correct option, right? You can add 4 3 times, right? Option number 2 is the correct option. The next one is which expression equals 3 times 2? Which is the correct option? The correct option is 2 times 3. You can add 2 3 times, right? So option number 1 is the correct option. Patch, what's wrong with you? I'm going to screenshot and send it to the administrator. They will talk to your parents. You are always here to create the disturbance. Which expression equals 2 times 2? You can add 2. 2 times option number 2 is the correct option. Which expression equals 2 times 4? So which is the correct option? You can add 2. You can add 4 2 times. So option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. Okay, again complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 3 math. The chapter we were working on is properties, and the lessons we have covered today are very important lessons. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. So that okay, the lessons we have covered today are distributive property, find the missing factor, multiply using the distributive property, solve using properties of multiplication, relate multiplication and addition, and the one we just did is relate addition and multiplication, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9, or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. Got it? So if you need more help with the lesson, you can have write question in the chat box. I can answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. No questions? Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.